ask you about Help to Buy, and then I'm done on housing. So, Help to Buy. So, you've introduced this bill into the House again. Is that right?
Yes, there is a second, bill being through the House. Yep.
Okay. Now, the Prime Minister has been talking about this being a serious proposition, and there have been media reports about whether this may be used as a double dissolution trigger. Is that an unfair characterisation or a fair characterisation?
I'll leave others to speculate on that.
I can't ask the department that. I'm asking you. Yeah.
I am aware that there is speculation about it as a trigger. I think it shows the government's commitment to continue to pursue this despite the Senate's current position on it. We'll continue to do it. We want to get it through. And there will be a vote on this bill, won't there, in November?
We hope so.
Well, no, that's the motion of the Senate, is to have a vote.
I think that's a good idea to have a vote on things. I think if you believe in something, you should bring it on for a vote. That makes sense.
Well, we tried, remember? And you opposed it and it moved it off and adjourned it. So
I guess my main question on the Help to Buy, now we've got the Treasury here, is whether this is your only demand-side policy or whether there are other demand-side policies.
So, Senator, there's probably two at the moment. The Home Guarantee Scheme.
Yeah, that was a policy inherited by this government, right?
It was expanded and extended.
But it was a policy of the former government, was it not?
Expanded and improved upon.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the inherited policy. And then what's the other one?
Well, Help to Buy is the other one that you've mentioned.
So that's the only one so far. And are there any other ones in the mix?
Not that we would specifically characterise as demand-side measures, because our advice to government has been largely to focus on supply measures.
Now, what do you make of the popularity of the shared equity or Help to Buy-like schemes that have been run by the states?
So those schemes all have different criteria. I'll invite my colleagues to help me out here, but the scheme that the government has developed is not particularly analogous to some state schemes, and it's more analogous to others. So take-up has been mixed, and that has very much depended on the specific circumstances of the schemes.
So what about the New South Wales scheme?
Can I invite my colleagues to jump in? What would you like? Sorry, what was...
Well, I mean, are these popular, unpopular? Do people like co-owning their house with the government based on the data available from New South Wales?
So, Senator, we've got data available from many jurisdictions that are operating shared equity schemes.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about New South Wales? I represent that state, so I'm interested in that state more than others, perhaps.
So we have some numbers from various jurisdictions. If we look at a jurisdiction like New South Wales, I think that scheme in the last 2 years has helped slightly over 500 people. The eligibility is much more restricted than the Commonwealth's proposed Help to Buy scheme. So how analogous that is, we would say there are other state schemes that are more analogous. So if I take the Victorian Home Buyer Fund, that's helped more than 7,300 people in the last 3 years, or a model like WA's shared home ownership model that's helped about 1,800 people over the last 10 years or so. So there are
how many over 10 years?
About 1,800.
Okay, so they're not big numbers, are they?
So
in the scheme of the problem we're trying to solve here, we've discussed estimates.
So Senator, I think it's fair to describe these as targeted interventions on the demand side.
Okay, so it's a targeted intervention. And this is the government's only demand-side policy apart from the home guarantee scheme. So there's not a lot of options, is there, on the demand side, Minister?
Well, we have a range of measures.
You've got two?
Well,
one you inherited,
no,
one that's stalled.
Across housing, whether you look at supply,
demand,
support for renters, the work that we're doing with homelessness, social and affordable housing. I mean, you know, we are coming at this problem from every which way.
All right, well,
and you're opposing most of it and then complaining in the same breath that not enough's being done.
No, I guess my comment is, and leading to my final question on this matter is surely there's space for some more imagination here. I mean, is there any other demand-side things that you could do to help tilt the scales for people?
So, Senator, Treasury's advice around demand-side measures has always been to exercise caution due to their inflationary impact.
Yeah, of course.
So I think you know, if anything, our view at this point in time is until inflation is more within the target band more solidly and the economic conditions are right, the government should exercise significant caution about untargeted demand-side schemes.
But if, of course, the natural conclusion, though, is that if the Help to Buy scheme is permanently stalled, then does the government say, well, we're not going to have any demand-side measures at all to help first home buyers?
Well, we're still hopeful to get it through. I mean,
That's it. So all the eggs in one basket.
No. We've just gone through all of the different measures in the housing plan. No. Well, you're talking about demand. We've got a whole range of other interventions.
We talked about supply before. That's
through.
A disaster.
And you're opposing most of it.
Yeah,
so,
I think
like,
the cupboard's a bit
just
bare,
support
isn't
it. It's not.
The cupboard's bare.
Find me another government that's done as much as we have.
Well, the last
you
government,
won't be able to
the
do
last
it.
government built more houses.
No. Well, we've already established that isn't correct. But
All right.
also,
correct.
find me the programs you ran because you
We
didn't.
built more houses.
No, you
So,
didn't.
I
You did
will now
not.
go
The government
to-
did not build
I'll table the
houses.
data.
You didn't build houses. You were
Okay.
not involved.
Table the. Well, you think that the government should build all the houses?
All right.
No,
Stop.
I don't.
Stop.
But I don't think
Everyone,
when you, I don't
everyone,
think you should sit there and say
includes-
you built all the houses when that's clearly incorrect.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you.